Supreme Court appoints senior advocate P.S. Narasimha as mediator to resolve disputes of cricket administration in BCCI. Court also asked Narasimha to look into the dispute relating to release of funds. Liverpool pick up a famous 3-1 win over Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena to progress to the quarter-finals of the UEFA Champions League. Sadio Mane becomes Liverpool's all-time leading away goal scorer in the club's illustrious European history. And Barcelona pulverized Lyon 5-1 to reach the Champions League last stage for a record 12th successive season. Magical Lionel Messi scores twice and sets up 2 other goals. Well, now for the stories in detail. Australia won the 5th and final ODI of the series against India at the Firozshah Kotla Stadium in New Delhi by 35 runs to cap off a remarkable comeback in the series, winning it 3-2.
Tails is the call from Aaron Finch. Tails it is.
Winning the toss and opting to bat first, Captain Aaron Finch spoke about wanting to get a big score on board to defend it later. And opening the batting along with Usman Khawaja, they looked like doing just that, as the initial proceedings were dominated by the duo. Ravindra Jadeja was introduced in the 15th over and right on cue took the wicket of Finch, much to India's relief. As the Australian captain departed for 27 of 43 balls, Peter Handscomb walked in at number 3. India opted to go with spin from Yadav, Jadeja and Jadhav for the next few overs, but were unsuccessful in capitalizing on Finch's wicket. Handscomb was picking the ball early and particularly dominated Yadav as Khawaja brought up his 8th ODI 50. At the halfway mark, Australia were at 136 for 1, looking to nail at least 300 from that stage. But the Indian comeback was due to begin soon. Just as Khawaja got a well-deserved century in the 33rd over and Australia were looking to up the ante, he was caught by Virat Kohli off the bowling of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. The dangerous Glenn Maxwell departed after that in the very next over, once again caught by Kohli, this time off the bowling of Ravindra Jadeja. The score read 178 for 3 and India were once again back in the game. The hero of the previous match, Ashton Turner, made a run of ball 20 before he was dismissed, and having already lost Peter Handscomb before that, the visitors sought to salvage the innings. They succeeded in doing that to an extent as Marcus Stoinis and then Jai Richardson took the Australian total past 250 and then finished strong to end the innings on 272 for 9. India needed to ensure they didn't lose early wickets in reply on a pitch where the best time to bat had already passed by the first innings. As Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan started off, it looked like they had gotten their eye in by the end of the 4th over and were ready to launch. But just then Dhawan was out cheaply. Local boy Virat Kohli walked in to hew cheers from the crowd and got off the mark straight away with 2 boundaries, wasting no time in ensuring that the scoreboard kept ticking. But just as it looked like they were going to stitch together a neat partnership, Kohli uncharacteristically gave his wicket away to a half volley from Stoinis. Rishabh Pant, another local lad, joined Rohit at the crease, but he too was dismissed after getting his eye in for only 16 runs, as India found themselves in all kinds of trouble at 91 for 3. At the other end, Rohit was constant, making sure he punished the bad balls and picked up singles and doubles to keep the scoreboard ticking. Vijay Shankar took his time to get his eye in, and once he got an idea of the pitch, decided to target Adam Zampa, who was giving it a fair bit of light. But as Shankar endeavoured to hit Zampa for a consecutive sixes, he fell in the deep. Soon Rohit too fell trying to hit Zampa out of the park. He was beaten by the flight and ended up getting stumped. 4 balls later, Jadeja was stumped too, this time while trying to defend. At 132 for 6, it was down to the last moderately recognized pair of Jadhav and Bhuvneshwar Kumar to salvage the situation. With the pressure mounting, the pair put up a valiant fight, taking the total to 223 and putting together a 91 runs between them. From Indian perspective, what was good to see was that it was not just Jadhav who was the aggressor, but even Bhuvneshwar backed his skill as the Australian bowlers temporarily did not have answer to the calculated aggression shown by the two. However, just as it looked like India could seriously go ahead and challenge the total, Bhuvneshwar departed for a well-made 46 of 54 balls, which included 3 fours and 2 sixes. Jadhav was out on the very next ball from Jai Richardson, trying to pull the ball and holding out in the deep to Glenn Maxwell for 44. From then on, it was just a matter of time before Australia wrapped up the win, with Shami the next to be dismissed. It was probably deserved that Stoinis got the wicket of Kuldeep of the very last ball of the innings, with India all out for 237 runs. Australia won by 35 runs and completed a remarkable comeback in the series to win it 3-2 after being 2-0 down. Taposh Bhattacharya's report, TT News, Delhi.
Well, the Indian team management are...
series, the talk in the Indian camp was that a problem of plenty. But after the end of the 5-match series, especially in Kotla, they are staring at a blank. It was a golden opportunity for players like Vijay Shankar, Ambati Rayudu, Rishabh Pant to make it count and cement their place for the playing 11 in the World Cup squad. But barring Vijay Shankar, none of the players could leave a mark in the series, leaving Indian team's preparation in tatters for the Mercurial World Cup. With cameraman Rakesh, this is Taposh Bhattacharya, DD News, Delhi.
Well, the Indian team management are clear about their playing 11 going into the first match of the World Cup despite their ODI series defeat against Australia, as only one slot is up for grabs. That's what Virat Kohli said in the post-match on Wednesday after the loss of the series. Before the start of the series, Kohli had said that a couple of places need to be sealed and now it is down to just one man.
Combination wise, जी हम काफी sorted हैं. Condition based एक या मैक्सिमम एक ही चेंज वर्ल्ड कप में देखने को मिलेगा कंडीशन बेस्ड, बट उसके अलावा 11 जो हमें खिलाने हैं हम बिल्कुल क्लियर है उसके बारे में. और एज अ साइड जैसे मैंने बोला कि हम बहुत बैलेंस्ड है. अभी हार्दिक पांड्या भी टीम में आ जाएंगे, उनके आने से बैटिंग की डेप्थ, बॉलिंग की जो हमारी ऑप्शंस है और खुल जाती हैं. तो हमको पता है हमको कहाँ जाना है वर्ल्ड कप में एज अ कॉम्बिनेशन. 11 जो है हमारी काफी क्लियर है अपने दिमाग में. जस्ट दैट हमको अच्छे डिसीजंस लेने होंगे प्रेशर सिचुएशंस में. Every team in the World Cup is a threat, to be very honest, because anyone who gets on a roll in a World Cup, it's very, very difficult to stop that team. And having said that, a team that's on a roll can be knocked out in the semis or the quarters or even the finals. They can be defeated immediately by a side that's more brave on that particular day and who wants it more, who's more expressive as a side. So.
Well, skipper Aaron Finch and coach Justin Langer were over the moon after Australia clinched back-to-back limited overs away series win against India in a month, terming the achievement as an incredible one. Australia first beat India 2-0 in the two-match T20 series and now have pulled off a 3-2 series win after being down 0-2. This was after losing the Test and ODI series in their own backyard when India travelled there from late last year to first part of 2019. Usman Khawaja emerged as the highest run getter after 5 matches with 383 runs and backed the man of the series. However, the Southpaw is unwilling to take anything for granted.
To be here in India and winning this series, it's massive. It's always a tough place to play cricket for any Australian to come over. You got the conditions and you have the crowds. So I think from a personal point of view, it's really satisfying to come back to the one-day side and contribute. But even more so to get that win, to get the series win, because it's not easy out here.
If anyone doubted that cricket is the most difficult game for predicting the outcome, the India-Australia series that ended on Wednesday night should clear his mind. An Australian team that struggled to win matches at home, leave aside games in other countries, suddenly found the strength and vigor to win an away series in the most difficult country, India. Let's take a look at the key takeaways from this one-day series.
To win a series in India is itself a huge task for any visiting team. But to win a 5-match series after being 2-0 down is something very special that Australia has achieved. Let's also remember that this is not a full-strength Australian side with few star players missing due to bans and injuries. With the World Cup in mind, India did try to juggle a few things around, but in the process have lost a rare ODI series at home and for the first time under the leadership of Virat Kohli. Let's go through the key takeaways from the 5-match ODI series. India's over-reliance on the top 3. If there is one big area of concern for the men in blue going into the World Cup, it's their middle order batting, which will be their Achilles heel. The team has been on the lookout for a solid number 4 batsman for quite a while now, but after trying out so many players in the last year or so, no one has cemented that spot yet. Before the Australia series, Ambati Rayudu looked certain, especially after a good 90 in the fifth and final ODI against New Zealand away from home. But his shortcomings were exposed by Aussie quicks in the series. It was expected that Tamil Nadu's Vijay Shankar could grab that slot, but he wasn't tried at that position. The likes of KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant were given just a single opportunity. It is very evident now that the Indian batting is over-reliant on the top three, and if opposition teams can get one or two early wickets, they would know that Kohli's men could be put under serious pressure with a brittle middle order. India's bowling is the strongest suit. It will be probably for the first time that India are going into a mega event with bowling as their strongest suit. Over the years, India have always won matches and tournaments with batting as their stronger arm out of the two. However, it will be a very different World Cup in England and Wales this time around in Jasprit Bumrah, Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Mohammad Shami. India have a feat bowling trio that can cause havoc in any given conditions. To back the pacers, India are blessed to have the wrist spin of Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal, who have the knack of picking wickets in the middle order even on good batting surfaces. It will not be a bad move by Virat Kohli to opt to defend a score in crunch games because the bowlers look a lot confident when compared to batsmen, as we saw in the final ODI against Australia at Delhi. Australia is turning it around in time. Australia cricket was at its worst in 2018, both on and off the field, and it looked like they have forgotten how to win a cricket match, irrespective of any format. In that period, they lost at home in a test series against India for the first time ever, and were convincingly thrashed by the same side in the ODI series as well. Australia's ODI captain, Aaron Finch, was going through a very poor run with the bat. Young batsmen looked out of sorts, and even the most famed bowling attack was not delivering up to the best. It looked the same old story until the two ODIs against India. The second match at Nagpur was a classic example of how Australia have lost the art of winning a cricket match, as they lost by 8 runs after being in a very comfortable position. All of a sudden, Usman Khwaja has struck form at the top of the order, and his opening partner Aaron Finch is looking a lot better after one promising knock. The likes of Peter Hanscom, Glenn Maxwell and Ashton Turner have shown that they belong at this level. And it's a good sign for Australian cricket that they are now converting the promise into performance. Sports Desk, DD News.
And Australia now become the fifth.
Well, although the Australian tour to India 2019 was seen as a problem-solving series where the Indian think tank could come to conclusion in terms of few positions in the team, but the inconsistency of a few players as well as the rise of some others have given skipper Virat Kohli and head coach Ravi Shastri some new headaches. Amid the dilemma over the number 4 spot, former Indian cricketer Sanjay Manjrekar has backed Vijay Shankar instead of MSD or Ambati Rayudu for the second down spot. Here's more.
Best shot in the business till tonight.
Not even close to being in the scheme of things for the World Cup squad till the end of 2018, Vijay Shankar has continued to get better with every opportunity he has got since then. With his gradual improvement, Shankar is now a serious contender for not only getting into the squad but also into the playing 11. Turning back the clock to the beginning of 2019, Hardik Pandya had got suspended following his controversial remarks on a TV show, and Shankar was named as a replacement. And Pandya's bane became Shankar's gain. Though Shankar did not get any game in the Australia series, he was impressive with the limited opportunities he got in New Zealand and was able to maintain his place in the playing 11, even when Pandya returned. In the second ODI against Australia, Vijay dismissed Marcus Stoinis and Adam Zampa in 3 balls, delivering when it mattered. He has certainly made a case for himself with this performance to make the squad for the World Cup. Shankar's USP is that he can come into the team as a seam bowling all-rounder, a commodity which is extremely in high demand. Almost every major cricketing force has one. Ben Stokes in England, Marcus Stoinis for Australia, and up till a few months ago, before injuries forced him out of the attack, Hardik Pandya held that position for India. The seaming all-rounder acts as a bridge between the top order and the tail, as it was during the time of Kapil Dev, Imran Khan, Ian Botham and Richard Hadley. Both with the bat and the ball, Shankar showed he has it in him to deliver in pressure situations, and that he can be the man the team management can rely on. Now what happens when Pandya returns? Will Shankar fit into the first choice playing 11 in the World Cup? The answer to a large extent lies in how he performs in the remaining 3 games. Sports Desk, DD News.
Meanwhile, moving away from the cricket field, the Supreme Court on Thursday appointed senior advocate B.S. Narasimha, who is assisting the Apex Court as an amicus curiae in the BCCI matter as mediator for resolving various disputes related to cricket administration in the country. The bench also asked Mr. Narasimha to look into the dispute relating to the release of funds by the court-appointed committee of administrators to various cricket associations. Besides, it restrained all other courts in India from entertaining for proceedings with any matter pertaining to BCCI and state cricket associations. Special Olympic World Games 2019, which is being held from March 14 to 21st in United Arab Emirates, has made history by welcoming a record-breaking 200 nations ahead of the Games. It is being held in West Asia for the first time. 7,500 athletes are taking part in the 24 Olympic-style sports over the next 7 days. Former champion Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal edged closer to a blockbuster semi-final showdown at the ATP Indian Wells Masters with brisk fourth-round wins in California. World number 2 Nadal overpowered Serbian qualifier Filip Krajinovic in straight sets to book his quarter-final berth in 1 hour and 26 minutes, while Roger Federer, seeking a record 6 title in the California desert, needed just 64 minutes to get past Britain's Kyle Edmund.
Rafael Nadal sailed past Filip Krajinovic in the round of the last 16 at India Wells on Wednesday night. The Spaniard won the match 6-3, 6-4 in 88 minutes to move through and book a quarter-final spot against the winner of the John Isner and Karen Khachanov tie. Nadal had warm words for his opponent, ranked 113th in the world, after the 27-year-old had beaten David Goffin and Daniil Medvedev en route to the last 16.
2 sets to love, 6-3, 6-4.
Yeah, have been some difficult conditions out there today with some wind, but yeah, have been a tournament that he played very well, winning against David Goffin, against Medvedev, so and the straight set. So have been a good challenge for me this morning. Probably I played a little bit better yesterday than today, but it's still a solid performance now. So happy for that.
Roger Federer cruised past Britain Kyle Edmund with a straight set 6-1, 6-4 win in just over an hour of play. The world number 4 broke Edmund twice in the first set to storm to a 5-0 lead before Edmund pulled a game back as the set finished 6-1. The second set was a tighter affair with Edmund only being broken once, while Federer had to save a break point in the 8th game of the set as Edmund was looking to level 4-4. The Brit also came close to tying the set, forcing Federer to save another 3 break points in the final game as the Swiss star held his composure to book a spot in the quarterfinals against Poland's 22-year-old Hubert Hurkacz.
I'm feeling great, not feeling, any tiredness from Dubai or from whatever I played here. I haven't been playing every day and we had enough time in between, so I'm really happy actually how I started. I think all the matches, I can be really happy of that. And, being in the lead always helps. You can play more freely and, I had to fight in some of the matches naturally, but clearly really looking forward to the quarters.
Austrian Dominic Thiem advanced to the quarterfinals of the ATP event in California for the second time, defeating Croatian Ivo Karlovic 6-4, 6-3 in just 59 minutes. Thiem will play 18th seed Gael Monfils or German Philipp Kohlschreiber, who upset world number 1 Novak Djokovic in the 3rd round. Sports Desk, DD News.
Well, Sadio Mane's brace secured Liverpool a 3-1 away win from Bayern Munich in the second leg of the UEFA Champions League last 16th second leg. The Bavarians grabbed the reins on home soil from the kick-off and came to their first chance with only 9 minutes. Bayern controlled possession of the ball but lacked in ideas to overcome Liverpool's well-positioned defence. Mane gave Liverpool a 26-minute lead and a precious away goal after outwitting Rafinha and keeper Manuel Neuer before Bayern levelled on the night when Joel Matip inadvertently turned into his own net. Mane entered the match 1 goal behind Steven Gerrard and Robert Firmino but finished the game with 7 total away goals in Europe, and the record is all to himself. The Senegal star has saved his best where it counts in Europe, scoring 9 of his 13 Champions League goals in the knockout stage of the competition. That percentage is the second highest of any player with more than 10 Champions League goals, trailing only Iwak Olik. Head coach Niko Kovac said his side were deservedly eliminated by Liverpool in the Champions League last 16. It was a night to forget for Bayern at Allianz Arena, where the Bundesliga champions suffered a 3-1 second-leg defeat to Liverpool on Wednesday night. Following last month's scoreless stalemate on Merseyside, Bayern were no match for Liverpool, who condemned the Germans to their earliest European exit since 2010-2011 season.
Nach dem 2-1 haben Sie gesehen, welche Qualitäten diese Mannschaft besitzt.
Especially after the 2-1 score, you saw this team's qualities. The fact that we didn't achieve what I had in mind surely was also our fault, but above all, it's due to Liverpool, who boxed us in, attacked early, and we were not able to break free. That's why we didn't make it. So we didn't deserve to win. Relatively easy. We still have 2 titles to fight for. We are top in the Bundesliga and still in the Cup. It's a goal to win these 2 competitions. The Champions League we have to forget about this year and then attack in the new year.
Müssen wir dieses Jahr abhaken und im neuen Jahr angreifen.
Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp said his team proved the club is back where it belongs on the grandest European stage after their emphatic win over Bayern Munich. Klopp did not disguise the magnitude of the 3-1 victory, suggesting the caliber of opponent made it one of the statement triumphs of his reign.
In second half, then I was really happy. Not only because we won it 2-0, or because of how we played football, how mature it was, how strong we looked, how good we defended, even in the situations when, of course, Bayern has so much quality, unbelievable. How quick on the wings, strong everywhere, hard challenges, all that stuff. Good in the last line, sensational goalkeeper, and we impressed them, and that's a massive thing in a game like this.
Barcelona advanced to the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League after a 5-1 win over Lyon, which was tougher than the final score might indicate. Barca had a spectacular first half, then conceded an early goal in the second, showed great composure to avoid any major trouble, and then scored 3 more goals to win in style and move into the last 8. Remember, there are 4 English clubs in the last 8 of the Champions League. The draw takes place on Friday evening. Ernesto Valverde was incredibly satisfied after Barca's 5-1 win over Lyon on Wednesday night, putting Barca in the last 8 of the Champions League. The Barca boss also said it would be an extraordinary game if the draw threw up Cristiano Ronaldo versus Messi game in the next round.
Messi had an incredible match. There's no way he can be better in many facets of the game. Scoring, defending, assisting, ordering in the game, that's all he gives to us. And although we are used to him, he surprises us every day. Facing any team will be a special match. Of course, you had a great match yesterday because you need to have a great match to score 3 goals against Atletico. We'll see what the draw gives us, but Messi had an extraordinary match today.
Well, that's all we have in this edition of Sports News. Thanks for watching. Have a safe and wonderful evening ahead. Bye-bye.